Hi everybody, my name is Casey. I'm back again with another STEAM activity for you to try with your kids. Today I wanted to talk to you about something called Mobius Strips. Now Mobius Strips are a very interesting shape. They're very different from most of the shapes that you're used to thinking about. It's something that is studied in a branch of mathematics called topography. Mobius strips are useful in that branch of mathematics. We're not going to talk too much about that, but we are going to explore Mobius strips today because they're a shape that seems very simple when you first see it, but it behaves in some very strange ways, and our brains actually have a very hard time wrapping our heads around it. But you can make a Mobius strip out of one strip of paper. The other things you're going to need to make this Mobius strip and to do the activities that I'm going to do with them are glue stick or tape if you don't have a glue stick, that's fine. Scissors for cutting out your strips of paper, although I've pre-cut mine. And a marker or a pen, anything that you can draw with. So, to make a Mobius strip, it's actually very simple. You take a strip of paper. This one I've just cut out of a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet, so it's 8.5 inches long and 1 inch wide, and that's fine for my purposes. Fold it together like you're going to make a loop, but instead of just making your standard loop, take one of the sides and flip it over. So you're just going to twist that loop a little bit. And I'm going to glue that together. So this is my Mobius strip. Not terribly exciting. That's okay. It is kind of weird. A little bit fun to look at, I guess. What I'm going to do with my Mobius strip is we're going to draw a line down the middle, which will show us something kind of interesting about this strip. So I'm just going to pick either side of your Mobius strip. I like to start at the place where the two sides joined, and just start drawing a line down the middle of your strip. Okay, so I am now back at the seam in my Mobius strip, but somehow I'm on the other side from the one I started on. I can't just join right up, I have to keep going. Ooh, so I had to go around the whole strip twice before I joined back up with where I started. And though I only drew one continuous line, it's covered both sides of the paper. So that's the weird secret of the Mobius strip. It actually only has one side. Which seems weird because the paper has two sides, but this shape has only one surface and it's all continuous. And that's weird. But it gets weirder because what we can do next, now that we have a line down the middle of our Mobius strip, is we can cut it into two. So if I cut along this line down the middle of my Mobius strip, what do you think is going to happen? If you're doing this with your kids, it's a really good idea to stop and actually make them come up with theories of what's going to happen when we cut this in half. They will probably be wrong, unless they're really, really good at picturing 3D objects in their head. Most of us can't do that. So I'm going to cut this one in half for you now. Are you ready? It's the last snip. And, oh, it's still one big piece with some extra twists in it. Were you expecting it to break into two Mobius strips? Most people do, but that's not what happens. That's kind of funky. Now what gets even funkier is if you cut it into three. So I've cut another strip of paper here. This one I cut along the long edge of my 8.5 by 11, so it's 11 inches long, and I made it 1.5 inches wide just because it's a lot easier for me to break that into thirds. Each third is a ½ inch that way. So if we make one more Mobius strip, so once again, just make it like a loop, but just twist one side over. And then glue it or tape it. And this time we're going to draw a line, but instead of drawing it in the middle, we're going to do it 1/2 inch from one side. I'm going to still start at the seam, so I'm going to use a ruler for this part. And measure myself 1/2 inch, so I know where to start. And I'm just going to draw a line all the way around. Let's see what happens. So one line cutting off 1/3 of my Mobius strip. I'm going to do another line as well. So now I've drawn two lines on my wider Mobius strip. They're each about half an inch apart. You can see they're kind of wonky because drawing on a Mobius strip is not that easy. It's okay, they don't need to be perfect. Now, what happens when you cut a Mobius strip into thirds? Are we going to get one really long loop, even longer than the one when we cut it in half? Or is something else going to happen? This is where you want to stop and actually think about what you think might happen. It's a fun exercise. Ask your kids to. And I'm going to cut this in 3 for you. Alright, are you ready? This is my last snip. Here we go. Oh! I have 2 pieces now. This one looks like it's just a Mobius strip. And this one is bigger and has more twists in it. Kind of like this half twist that I made here. Weird, right? Mobius strips are very hard for our brains to understand, even though they're so simple to put together. And that makes them kind of fun to play around with your kids with. You can kind of amaze them with these. So thank you for watching my Mobius strip video, and thank you for enjoying our Steam videos in general. If you do try this at home, maybe film a reaction video of your kids as you magically cut up the Mobius strips and they don't do what they thought. Please do share them with us using the hashtag VPLAtHome. That's VPLATHOME.